Alrighty, good morning, afternoon, and evening, whenever you're sitting down to watch this episode of the Caffeinated Dad Gaming live stream. Tonight, we are getting into the brand new Path of Exile season. I don't have any of my rotations up, nothing. Who's running this stream? There we go. Tonight, yeah, we are jumping into the new PoE season. Right now, this is going to be my second playthrough. I did recently the first playthrough, I want to say about, I don't know, it was probably at the beginning of the year, shortly before I did my initial playthrough of Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn, which you guys have been seeing and watching. So I wanted to start this season strong. Oh, I'm sorry, did that not pick up? There you go. My bad. My bad. Yeah, there it goes. For those of you who may have watched me for Final Fantasy XIV and then jumped into Path of Exile by proxy, by what I'm doing here. Essentially, of course, Path of Exile is an ARPG. It's been around for a very long time. I don't have any of the stuff readily available except for the playmat that's here. But I do have some skin in the game, and I wanted to actually play a season from the start. So when Necropolis season came out, which is this new league, time to get back started, time to jump into it. So, but I'm doing something a little bit different this time. I'm gonna try to make it a challenge, as if Path of Exile wasn't already a challenge enough. My challenge tonight for Path of Exile is I'm going to be playing as Marauder, which is a melee, we'll say essentially a melee warrior. There's lots of different variability throughout all the classes, but I'm playing as a Marauder who evolves into a Juggernaut, or can upgrade to a Juggernaut. But what I plan on doing, especially with it, is going for what's called an Earthquake build. So essentially it is just nothing but smashing the ground and dealing as much damage to everything on screen. It looks like it's a lot of fun. This is my first time following a guide to the T, doing all that all the way through, so I'm excited. I wanted to say that I will also be doing it on something called Ruthless mode. So Ruthless mode makes it 10 times harder. There's hardly any loot that drops, the bosses hit harder, your powers are reduced. I mean, it's like a very scaled down, challenged version. I played through the first version, I played as the Templar, really enjoyed it. Now I want to try it a little bit more difficult. See, everyone's here already. Pothy, Nicola, Melissa, welcome in, guys. New is already in. Path of Exile is a lot of fun. Once you understand it and you get through that initial hump, it's fantastic. I found myself really enjoying it. I did want to say I've been majorly enjoying your playthrough of Final Fantasy. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I like the game. I really do. I'm absolutely excited to get into the rest of A Realm Reborn, but with Path of Exile, the season coming out, I kind of wanted to, okay, let's digest what just happened and then progress towards Heavensward, which I still know I have like 90 quests between the end of A Realm Reborn all the way to Heavensward, so I still got some time. Was hoping to make it into PoE tonight, but I got another 8 gigs to download. Oh man. It's a decently large game, but it's taking it step by step is the way that I recommend doing it. So let's go ahead and jump into character creation, because we're already here and we got the new Necropolis League. So it should tell us all about the new Necropolis League, or at least I thought it would. Oh, well, I guess not. There you go. So basically the Necropolis League is the new season, the new league. We're basically gathering up dead bodies, so I'm all excited for that. I've never played this or heard of it, but I'm here to support with my like and my view. Nicole, I appreciate that. Thank you. So I've played ARPGs, action role-playing games, for a very long time. I played the hell out of Diablo 2, played the hell out of Diablo 3 when it came out. Haven't barely touched Diablo 4 for obvious reasons. Oh, hey, thank you, Tim. Coffee sign. Ready? The light is on. And I came out of focus. There we go. Can't have that. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Basically the fun part about it is that it's usually very fast, and it's very, we'll say, like engaging in that sense. So instead of it being more like oriented around a story, it's mainly oriented around your build and the combat. So we're going into the Ruthless mode.
To face the land of the damned, Marauder?
I think Caffeinated Dad is taken, and I really don't want to go with Caffeinated Daddy, which makes this even so much worse because of how jacked this dude is. Daddy-o, I can do. I'm not gonna go Caffeine Daddy. Starting the league off terribly. All right, Caffeine Daddy-o. Significantly different gaming experience with extreme item scarcity. Yeah, we're here for it. Papa Calf. Actually, you know what? I think I might change that. Oh, that bubbled up. Hey, look, I'm gonna change that. We'll do Papa Calf. Papa Cafe. There we go. All right, can't do Caffeine Daddy. Probably not the best look. Not the best look. It'll be ready anytime I get home from work tomorrow, so that's okay. All right. So you'll be able to play. That's cool. It's, again, once you get into it and you understand the basics, it ends up being, it's very, very addictive. Basically, it starts out like any RPG. You're just on a beach and all you're doing is just beating down. All you're doing is beating down just various enemies, very light enemies. So you start out here on this beach. Your first objective is just to start beating everything here and then get to the mainland. So if you do care about the story, which I did on my first playthrough, what you'll find out is that basically you're in exile. You got kicked off. You got kicked off your main island, and I'm not sure of the Marauder story. I know for the Templar, it was because you questioned your order and you got sent out. I think there is, I think there's a bunch of different, we'll say, stories back behind it. But right now, the main thing is that you're just trying to survive. I forgot how bad these guys hurt. We don't have any armor. There it is. So, I'm really interested into seeing like how much more difficult this is, because I want to say when I played Path of Exile 2 and I actually was able to put in the time for a warrior, it was very, very difficult. Honestly, like I felt like there was a lot of things that made the game challenging, so to speak. And I wanted to see how Ruthless fits, you know? You're watching to see if you should play this. So I will say that the experience that I'm about to have is going to be significantly different than the experience that you might if you just start out on a normal playthrough. Like, so for me, I'm going for this is a Ruthless character, so the game is going to be significantly more challenging on my end. But having said that, I'm going for that challenge.
To see another
all right, so look. So here you go. So I got the helmet. Yay, got a piece of loot. But this is what usually gets people. So I'll just stay right here. I'll zoom in. This is the Marauder, right? Marauder's line. Hey, Cade, what's going on? Cool, everything's fine with the Marauder's line. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta move you guys up so you guys... There you go. Everything's cool with the Marauder line, just right here. This is all the passive points that you can get. Let me just scroll on out and look at all the different passive choices. Look at all of this. It seems like a lot. It seems like a lot, especially when you're just getting started. Honestly, if you just focus off over into one little, like you just focus on your individual points, then you'll be good to go. So my first objective is not going to be this one. It is going to be this one. So I get max life and DPS, and then I won't be trying that, trying the very difficult to start. Well, and again, I think I'm doing it to compare, you know? I think I'm doing it to compare the difficulty of my first playthrough, and then Path of Exile 2 when I went out to LA and I tried it. And then just like seeing, you know, where does it fit? There we go. So this particular difficulty is something that I was interested in trying, actually, even on my first playthrough. And this is by the way is the initial boss. It's very simple to start. out of sword. Now he hits harder. He hits slower too. Yeah. Always go away from the sword. Nice, easy dents around the side.
My mana is gone.
Oh. Nice. Got some stuff. Nah, none of that's really all that good. Can I put that anywhere? I can. Oh, nice. All right, so we got a movement ability. Well, I'll put that to Q, which will help out. So that's a skill. I'm remembering spheres in Final Fantasy license system from FFX 2 with that skill tree thingy. And you know what's funny about it is that the skill tree doesn't really seem. Oh, do I not get in? No, I have to go over here, don't I?
Fine work with him.
I think the first one I have to go is ground slam. Yeah. We'll go with ground slam. And then you go to purchase items, and it's like the items are very, like the items that you get are very, very rare. And I think that's what's exciting about it too. It's like it really makes you appreciate each piece of gear that you get. That looks as bad as the Final Fantasy X skill tree. Played Ruthless up until Act 3 a few leagues ago. It was fun, but it was kind of slow. But it's slow. Yeah, and I think that's kind of where I'm looking at it is, like, I want to see the challenge difficulty versus where I'm at right now. Oh, wait, no, I didn't even equip my gem. Who the hell is running this show? So we got ground slam now. There we go. We're starting to get there. Nothing. And honestly, thus far, it does seem like if you played the normal mode of Path of Exile, you'd be getting a ton of loot, and there would be a bunch of other things that go along with you know, every item that you get. Like killing these guys, you should get like 5-6 items, and it's like now you're getting nothing. So it's like every piece of loot is a major upgrade, or at least any of the one pieces that you can keep. Bam, bam. Alrighty. Looks so much worse than it is. Well, and I think that's where a lot of people end up getting mixed up, is that they look at that and it's overwhelming to start, but you realize that you get 1 per level. So, like, you just got to realize that, you know, you just have a plan, have a bit of a path, and then you should be good. Honestly, that's what I felt. But I guess my focus on this run is to really just someone's already is to really just gauge how difficult it is on this end. If you watch, like, if you see anything for Path of Exile, you know there's a lot of people who end up, that's a boss, by the way, who end up just going for, like, the best, fastest lead starters. It's hitting like a truck. Might die here. Stun. Nope. Out of the way. Might die. Yep. This is very akin to what it felt like playing Path of Exile 2. It's like every fight felt close. Like, cause normally if you're playing like a normal league or anything else, like this guy shouldn't be that much of an issue. Nice. There we go. So we got some armor. Yay. And it's not even that good. All right. So here's my main objective. So with this particular build, now I'm following someone else's build, and this is a build that people have tested, people who have put a ton of hours into it and have said, yes, this is a good build that you can find. My objective is to follow this line here, come up through here, over the top, and then end up getting this skill first. This skill will basically mean that I can't miss, but I'll never crit. So it's like, what, you know, which way do I want to go? But again, the point is that it's meant to be, we'll say, like, you have a plan. Now you can go into it blind, which I actually very much recommend. Honestly, I recommend going into it blind and just having your own plan to, okay, well, I want to have a shield, which I did. I wanted to have a hammer shield and make that work, and it did for a point, but once you got into endgame, like, you get pushed around a lot. Man, they aren't kidding about the loot. Good gracious, man, I'd kill for a hammer. Another big thing about this game, if you guys, is like, I'm dodging them now, but if you see those guys with the fire breather, like, when they actually hit, like, I have, here, look, can I eat some of it? Like, it took a quarter of my HP just on the basic ability. And that's another game that you end up having to play, is like this whole, yeah, I'm gonna take that so I can sell it. You have to play this whole dance of, what do you call it, of managing your resistances, your armor. Like, there's a ton of depth, as much as you want, but then it's like, then you don't have to, you know, like, you don't actually have to put in the depth for the, we'll say, the commitment that you would. It's actually, to me, I feel like it's kind of fun. Like, that's interesting to me, especially because I like make my own wacky builds that probably shouldn't work. Probably shouldn't. I think, Cade, you were here for my first playthrough on my Templar, and like, I had a weird build, and there was a lot of people who were like, man, this build is an absolute travesty, but I'm just, I want to see you work your way through it. So yeah, that's fun. I'm sitting here monologuing about this game. How are you guys doing tonight? What do you guys got cooking? Yeah, I put a lot of work into fixing that build. It made it through. It made it through. Just saying. And I ended up going Righteous Fire Inquisitor, and it was great. I think I got up to level 85, I would say, in the Affliction League, and I got up to like, I think the highest map that I did was like a 12 or 14, something like that.
Khan's canoe struck this sand with the force of destiny. At his beck, the greatest war host in Karui history tamed the wild sea.
The hell is this? Oh, this is the new season of
with a talent for killing.
Lionized
Color me shocked.
Show me the
I'll
way.
make you the same offer I made the others. Take this lantern. I think you'll appreciate what you can see by its ghastly light. You go ahead and do what you do. Take care of that lantern.
Where do I peer into the lantern? Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you, Cade, when I actually got invited to it, my wife and I, we did a whole bunch of research to find out if it was legit. And I think that was what we were concerned about, is because it's just out of the blue, and they were like, oh yeah, you know, like, we want to invite you to this Exile meetup. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm very, very new in this. You know, I don't know what you're thinking and what you're focusing. Oh, that's gonna be a massive upgrade. I was like, I'm happy to be there, but like, I don't know if I'm like the guy for you. And it was great. Oh, I can't use Ground Slam anymore. That's fine. Work with what I got. least one-shot these guys. They weren't kidding, man. I'm getting, like, nothing to drop. Recovering from work with a small serving margarita. That's actually probably one of the the best things that you can do right now, I'll be honest with you. My wife and I were talking about it. So I had off today for Good Friday, and I wanted to do something a little bit different for the kids, just because, you know, they all had off and I had off. So I was like, you know what? I packed them all into the car. We went to an IHOP, right? And we went to, when we went to this IHOP, it was absolutely hilarious because everyone, like, all the kids.
Carl has kept his promise.
I'd rather
The
have
time of
energy
the
shield,
Karui
I guess, than
has
anything.
come.
They were like, you can do what with your pancakes?
My home,
Like, my middle child got chocolate chip pancakes, and that, like, blew her mind. She had the best day. And then it's like we came home and everyone, like, took a nap because they had such a big, like, IHOP day. It was absolutely hilarious. And then it was like later we ended up going to setting up the bounce house. We have this bounce house. We run in a raffle, a church raffle, and it was actually really cool, is because it was like, you know, we have this whole bounce house thing that we were able to take everyone in, or all of our kids in, and we were having a great time. They were out there for 4 hours. It was such a gorgeous day. I was able to work and get some laundry done. Is basically what I did. I won't say I'm a stay-at-home dad, but I'm a work-from-home dad. Yeah, let's just call it that. I think the perspective of new players are very important to them. I think so. I honestly believe so. Everything that they have shown me, or I have seen thus far, has been that they really do care about the opinions of their players, which is, it's a very good thing to have. Because, well, let's be serious. Like, how do you expect to draw in new players if gotta dodge that one? That's what I gotta dodge. How do you expect to have new players in if you know, like, you only cater to the veterans, right? Like, and I think that's something that I feel like a lot of games miss out on, honestly, is that they focus too much on only what the people who've been there forever do. Oh, now we got is that a one-hander? Now we got some stuff. Can I put this anywhere else? I guess I can't. Driftwood Club. IHOP is my IHOP is gone. I'm devastated. Oh no! Not the IHOP. Is that gonna be better? Maybe that's gonna be better. Oh, that's definitely better. That's unfortunate, actually. And why can't I? It requires level 5. That's right. That's unfortunate, honestly. IHOP has been, like, around in our neck of the woods for a very long time, and it's like one of my go-tos. But I'll tell you, my wife and I's biggest go-to is actually Friendlies. Like, when we have the whole family and we're all, like, out doing something, Friendlies is our go-to, man. I love going to that place. Like, it just feels like they really do give a damn. At least the Friendlies that we have. That's what's funny about it too is that it's nearby a lot of the activities and the schools and everything, so we're near it all the time anyway, and we just always end up finding an excuse to be like, oh yeah, I'll go to Friendlies. It's like, did it really take you that much of a convincing? Like, did it really take you that much, or are you just like, immediately I'm jumping in? It's Friendlies. Let's see. All right, so we didn't really get too much. There, let's go see if we can't sell some of this stuff and and get some more items, because I don't think we can.
I'd almost stop.
And silver flask, because that'll make us move fast.
Come to hear your poem.
I
What
gotta
little
go
help
over
I
here and
got.
sell. 8 cold resistance, and technically somewhat better.
Yes?
I'll take it. That's my weapons. There we go.
Hello?
I don't even know if I can really purchase much of anything anyway. I gotta go over and talk to this guy.
Got it.
And it's an orb of transmutation. Nope, that ain't gonna do. Alright. Guess we're just keeping what we got.
Stay sharp
On the move.
out there.
The interview between Zazarian and Mark Neon was incredible. I don't think I've ever gotten a game developer care as much as about the game. That is one thing that I will say. I've seen as a consistency across the board for Path of Exile is the developers really gave a damn. Like, I talked to Octavian and had a great conversation where we talked about a bunch of different stuff, but I talked about what it's like. Let's do, no, I don't like those. Yeah, I don't have those guys. Water elementals, I'm not too much of. Okay. There we go. Nice. Octavian was telling me all sorts of stuff, especially about like his point of view and all the other classes that he has into the game for Path of Exile 2, and he's just like almost like physically giddy about it, which you know, I feel like you don't see all that much. I mean, you do see it with some developers, but there's a lot of people who are just about, you know, let's just keep it moving. You know, we have objectives to do, we have this, that, and the other, and it's like it ends up being more business than like actual, like, we'll say they care. And again, I bring up Final Fantasy because again, I've recently been playing it, but the fact of Yoshi P like moving Dawn Trail back a week to deal with Elden Ring so everyone can play. I mean, that's one, it's smart. Let's just call it what it is. It's a smart move. But what I've liked thus far about that is that he's a gamer. He thinks about it. He said that, one, there's probably going to be a lot of players who, there are a lot of people who want to play the Elden Ring DLC because Elden Ring's been out for like, what, 3 or something along that line. So the fact that, like, he is a gamer himself, it really does, I swear, it really does make a big point of view. Oh, that's a big bad. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Oh, I'm poisoned. Oh, degeneration arm. Gotta run out. Need to kill some other just random mobs. Things are about to get hairy, folks.
I cannot do this yet.
Ah, damn. Alright. That was a slow death. That was the slowest death I've ever seen. No, stop, please. I really like that that devs love their game. You know, and I guess maybe it's because I'm a little bit jaded, watching what happened with World of Warcraft all those years that I played it, but the fact that they spent so much time, you know, in it, and they ended up making it more business oriented versus, we'll say, like actual game oriented and like cared about that, it shows. And then when you have a game like Final Fantasy where, like, I will admit, man, like they really do care about their game, which is incredible. Like, I feel like you don't see that as often, or if you do see it, it's usually from very small developers. Because I've talked to some indie developers who are just like, that game is their whole life. They have put all of their chips on that particular game, and they're hoping that it will stick. And I think that's really cool to see that kind of thing from a major developer like Square Enix. In my home game, the head CM doesn't play the game, and you can tell he's just not interested. And it shows. It honestly does show. Is that defeatable? Yeah. It really does show when someone actually cares about the game versus when they do not. And I think that's something that should, like, people should pay attention to. Is like, if you have a developer who's all about their physically. If you have someone who only cares about the marketing of the game or the sales of the game and stuff like that, I'm not saying that those aren't important. I'm just saying that they are not everything. And there's some people who you could just tell if they're not interested, they're not putting their time and effort in. Just getting whack-a-mole. I hate these charging guys. These charging guys suck. Level 5 yet? I am level 5. 21 DPS compared to no DPS. 33. Compared to, oh wait, hold on. I gotta equip it. One thing I will say that I've really enjoyed seeing, especially 34, slightly better. And it's faster. One thing that I will say that I very much enjoyed, especially seeing the differences of communities, and I look at it in the sense of Path of Exile because I've recently played Path of Exile, but then I've also have been playing Final Fantasy and seeing the differences. What's name? Forgot I have it. The main difference that I've seen is the way that the community acts within itself. Path of Exile is very, very much the, we'll say, what was that? Path of Exile feels like it's very, very much the, like, almost in that sense, like business and personal gain, which isn't a bad thing. Again, if you think about it, a lot of people play Path of Exile just Path of Exile on their own. Like, there's very few incentives to actually play as a group. So when they actually get a chance to sit down and play, it's basically themselves. They're playing with themselves or focusing on themselves, which is not a bad thing in the least. But compared to Final Fantasy, is like Final Fantasy is they're heavily on their own individual community and the other players and everything that goes into it. So it's an interesting thing to see that, we'll say, almost like dichotomy between the two. Again, they're two different games. Did you see that subscriber numbers have since in the game it's actually gaining subscribers outside of and honestly, like, I think Asmongold, I want to say Asmongold put it together and was like, yeah, it's probably because blockchains. It's probably because their classic is because WoW Classic is there and it's a thing. I'm hard pressed to actually disagree with that, honestly. K-Mail's the best is better because I also get an energy shield. Classic is great, and a lot of players who played Classic originally just want to go back to that Classic experience. And, like, I don't know how many people are, like, super duper excited about always playing, like, retail and stuff. I know that there are. But I will say that it's funny to see that difference, and then the subscriber count all the way back is absolutely hilarious. Where it was like back in Warlords of Draenor, and it shows. And what's it? Chris Metzen's back too, I think, if I remember correctly. Dude, stop summoning these things. I'm gonna win this war of attrition. I'm gonna win. Just gonna keep. I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but I'm just gonna keep whacking it. Definitely not the best way. Ooh.
I cannot.
That's gonna be good. I already know it. I use it. Maybe not. Probably. Let's try. Hold on. Let's see what it looks like. Let's review here. Can't use that. And where the hell is my heavy strike? 31 DPS, but then I get 1 mana per kill, and I have extra accuracy. No, I think I'm gonna stick with my staff right now. Although that will be something good to sell. Say that's the name of the game, is that you start getting stuff to sell. Make some money back. My short-lived WoW attempt did not end well. I was so interested in the lore and story, and there's no actual way to experience it. And I think that's what ends up getting a lot of people, catching a lot of people off guard, is that, like, you really have to pay attention outside of the game itself. Like, you have to read a whole bunch of books, lore. I have a bookcase right down there where I read about, you know, the Day of the Dragon, right, which is a very important lore event, especially about Alexstrasza, one of the big we'll say the big dragons in the game. And I think that's what stinks about it, is that it ended up becoming too much about the game, and there wasn't enough lore or story unless you really dug into it on your own. It like wasn't presented in a fun way, I guess, is the best way to put it. If it helps answer that, Classic is carrying WoW, and it's like half of the subscribers. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it absolutely is. 100% is carrying the, and I see why. Again, most people, and myself included, like, if anything, me going about my series of the greatest MMO I've never played, can tell, like, I'm very much about that good MMO experience. So, like, hence why I'm playing MMOs and games that I never got around to playing, because I was so focused on either World of Warcraft, and then after that, Guild Wars 2. These are all things that it's more of like a homage to me. Like, I'm trying to figure it out on my own. And I think that's what's interesting, I should say. Is people want that traditional experience, and I don't think that modern WoW or even some other games are even really providing. You got bread? You gotta pick up a pocket or two.
I've spent enough time. A necrom.
I have no way to accept this.
Stay sharp out there.
What little?
Sell all the stuff. Man, that short sword didn't even really get me anything. Ugh. Now I'm basically left with nothing. I wonder if I keep my stash tabs here. Oh, I do. Nice. Oh, caps. This is... Here's caps. That's what I need. I can't spell. There we go. On live, you can't even do the expansions in order. The whole game is packed into one racing to end game. And I think that's where I ended up losing it, is because I had to spend so much time. No, I'm not peering into the lip. I had to spend so much time focusing on, like, you know, keeping my gear score up, making sure that I was tracking this, that, like, if I'm actually fighting enemies, like I'm you know, like, what I had to min-max my time to make sure that I was staying raid eligible or even dungeon eligible. And I think that's where I was like, man, this kind of sucks, to be honest with you. Like, this wasn't fun for me, actually. It came to a point where it was like, and this is way back when, before I even started making videos and I was doing nothing but streaming, it was not a fun experience. I would end up sitting there looking at, okay, DPS charts and, you know, what I needed to focus on. And then when I was streaming it, all I did was stream just my raid. And if we were doing a progression raid, it was the same raid basically almost every single day. It was not fun. That sweet HP. It was not fun, and I didn't even think that it really made for, like, good content for myself. But the whole point of me streaming and actually making videos was actually when I found out that my youngest was about to be born, and and I was trying to find extra ways to make extra money to help support the family. It really that's what really started me down this journey. And, you know, like, I started making videos and people actually watched them, so it's been an interesting ride. And I think if I would have just stayed playing World of Warcraft, I wouldn't be in this situation that I was in right now.
This is not what the elders told us.
It was a second job. It was very much like a second job. Evening. I play WoW from Burning Crusade while still have friends there. Honestly, my friends aren't enough to keep my interest in the game. I need story and lore. And it's there, but damn, they make it so inaccessible is really my biggest problem with WoW's lore. I mean, there's a bunch of issues that I have with WoW. I played the game since Burning Crusade, actually. I played as a rogue. Zoralian was my character, and I played the hell of that out of it during Wrath of the Lich King. That was one of, if not my favorite expansions. And it got to the point where it was just too much. Like, especially as I became a father, as I had, you know, my family grew, I was like, man, I can't do this. I can't do this so much. Like, you can't reasonably expect parents, especially parents who, I don't want to say like parents who give it back. Like, I'm not gonna be even that cruel. It's just like people who just want to be able to chill. Oh, that's gonna be a big upgrade. People who just want to chill and, you know, have their time here at the end of the day where they can actually sit down and play a game without actually feeling overworked or stressed or anything. Like, you can't expect them to commit so much time and effort to it and that still be reasonable. Really is what it boils down to. Yeah, that's an upgrade. Yeah, we got a big axe. Nice. Spiritual successor of Diablo 2. So I heard this, and maybe Kate can actually tell you. I am enjoying myself. Kate can probably confirm it, but the original way that Path of Exile came out is because they were waiting on Diablo. I think they were waiting on Diablo 3, and they were like, yeah, I deal physical damage. This is fine. Oh wait, we gotta move them. Skeletons. No, there we go. He could probably tell you is that they were waiting on Diablo 3, and they just made Path of Exile just because they were bored of waiting, and they got tired of waiting. And there you go. What do you mean you can't play a game for 8 hours and have a family too? I mean, like, yeah, if I was doing this full time, we might have some type of conversation about it. Like, because the kids are out of school for a good bit of the day or activities. But I guess my thing is like, damn, you really trying to make it difficult on like people who don't want to know life a game, and go from there. Shit. I don't know though. I like there's some people who I know who probably, or who I know you know, personally, who have kids, and it's like they're like still playing the game for like 5, 6, 7 hours during the day, and I'm like, oh, like, honestly, the only time I can sit down and really play a game and focus on it is when the kids are asleep. Let me just call it that. Grinding, sounds like a second job. Grinding to get the gear to stay in the raid. Yeah, that was always the biggest issue, is that I would have to do, you know, daily reputation. If I only had, say, an hour a day, which is that's fairly reasonable. We'll say most days I can at least get an hour of gaming in sometime. I would have to spend it doing like 50 out of those 60 minutes doing all the dailies and the requirements over and over. And that was where it was just kind of like, no, I don't like those guys. Yeah, let's just keep buffing up these zombies. Here we go. To be honest, I played WoW only because of friends. Once they all quit, I only played for the Battlegrounds. Then Guild Wars 2 appeared one sunny day. And I think that's why I love Guild Wars 2 so much, and I put so much time and effort into Guild Wars, is because I didn't have a whole lot of time, and the idea of horizontal progression was fantastic. And I mean, and very simply put, it's like you earn the gear and then you're good. You don't need the gear anymore. You don't need to work on that. If you have a specific build that did like power damage versus condition, you're set for the rest of your like gaming career there, which was excellent for me because I never felt like I was behind. Oh, big slow. Good God. Oh, well, that's fine. There we go. We're all no likely Diablos and make their own Diablo 3. That's basically what happened. And you see what happened. The game was cool. They released the showcase video, so when I went to the live event for Path of Exile 2, they released the showcase video to show like all the players doing stuff and you know, trying to make it fun. I think what was hilarious was that at one point you could actually see the back of my head, my wife and I's head. We were sitting on the right in the second row. And you can see the back of our heads, which I thought was, I pointed that out. I was like, that is absolutely hilarious. Like, oh, nice. And I was like, look, Mom, I'm famous. Well, I was like sending it to people. I was like, at this frame right here, you could see the back of my head. My friend that got me into WoW got kicked off when I said I couldn't raid from 10 p.m. till 4 a.m. And then get at work at 6. Yeah, him. There are some people, like, there were some times where it was like you're joining raiding groups and we're like, yeah, you got to be able to stream from 9, or you got to be able to raid from 9 until like, it was like 9 until 1 a.m. and you have to be there. And if you miss your raid time, then you're pretty much screwed. Like, it was something absolutely absurd, and I was like, you really are expecting people to do this? Like, talk about just like, yeah, having a flexible game or playtime. Shit. Frozen. I think that's towards the time that I ended up thinking that it wasn't going to be for me. Like, as much as I spent the time in WoW, it almost felt like a cost-sunk fallacy. Like, I had spent so much time in it anyway that I was like, you know, like, oh, well, like, I might as well just keep going. I might as well keep going. And it's like, probably wasn't for the best. All right. I think we'll be able to get some, yeah, we're going to have to head up this way. finally starting to get some type of damage, but I'm getting mostly HP. HP and regen. After my community and Lotro fell apart, I've been just bouncing from game to game. And you know what's funny is that Lotro is like, and again, my objective really is to find a way that I can replace my real job for this and do this full time, do content creation full time. I really love Lotro, man. I really love just like the ambiance, the gameplay. I played as a warden, Zach. I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. And it was I guess what I loved the most is that it was nice and slow. It felt almost like kind of like ironically classic WoW. That's why I appreciate the Final Fantasy XIV community. I was able to get in with group for 4 hours per week for Savage Rage. Not everyone is hardcore, and I appreciate that so much. Oh. This guy's a big boss. I say he's a big boss. He's not really that big. Just slowly whacking away. This is the true element of an RPG. Your first thing is to start whacking away at giant crabs. Bam. Feeling like 10% of his HP. Yep. This is feeling very similar to what it's like for Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2 in its current state, I will say. Come on, get me out of there. Ugh, excuse, fight all the crabs. Ugh, crabs.
I cannot carry this.
Oh, can't carry any of that crap. Let's drop Crude Bow. Drop that for the Scepter, and then what's it, the Jade Hatchet? And drop for the Short Bow. This actually might be an upgrade. Maybe. You can connect in game sometime. I'm on Goblin. I put in an app to check out a guild, and I don't think they got it. It's that is one thing that I was just talking about it, but that's one thing that I've really enjoyed, especially from talking to a lot of the different players here in Final Fantasy and meeting with you guys and seeing what your opinions are. It's really fun to see the different interactions, you know, of players and people talking with each other in the game, because there's like a lot of just this overall acceptance, like everyone's excited to see other people playing the game, you know? Like and I didn't watch it because I didn't want to catch any spoilers, but what's it, Grinding Gear podcast, or Grinding Gear finished the Endwalker last night, and they ended up having, I think they had close to like 9,000 people watching, like, which is incredible. Given the fact that it's like, but again though, they've been streaming Final Fantasy for 2 years, so it's like that makes sense. Gotta go. And I feel like I should just make a statement right here. Something that I kind of promised to myself is that I wouldn't get so locked into a specific game that I wouldn't play the other games. So, like, of course I'm going to keep playing Final Fantasy. I don't think Galactic would ever let me live that down, because I've only scratched the surface of the game. But like, there's some nights where I'll be honest with you, like I just feel like just doing this, just whacking at things and not having to think, not having to read or anything, just going crazy. And I feel like I have to be in that certain mentality especially when I'm playing Final Fantasies, because I have to make sure I'm paying attention to, you know, these small little details, so that when I play, do a video, like, I'm actually catching on to those individual things. Wow. Down boy. That's technically an upgrade. The lack of kidnapping is that game that very much suffers from lack of new players. And I'm excited that Final Fantasy does more to welcome. You know what's funny though is, and I will say, oh, this door is an absolute pussy. I will say that one thing that I really liked in my Lotro playthrough, I think I played for about like 25 hours. If I'm something along that line. It's done. Oh, I don't know. For the ads. One thing that I really liked is that even though the community was small, like there was people popping out of the woodwork who were like, I freaking love this game. Like they're like, this is the best game in the world. And I was talking about it too. Cade, you might have seen it with Talkative Tribe. Talkative Tribe has put out a ton of videos recently, especially talking about Path of Exile and stuff. He genuinely felt like that type of person who couldn't believe everything was happening. Like, he was so excited to be here for the game and to be able to play it. Like, it was actually really, really cool to see. Okay, I'm good. And when I talked to some players from what's at Lord of the Rings Online, they were downright giddy about it. Like, they were like, dude, there's someone new here. This is so cool. I love this game. You know, like, you should check this out. Check this out. And it's like, it's exciting. And of course, I mean, I think it's well known in the MMO community that if you're going to play Final Fantasy, there's going to be players who are just like, I can't wait until you play this game. Like, bonk. Okay. I'm actually purposely going around trying to clear up as much as I can because I'm really after experience. Because I'm not getting crap worth of items. Oh, I don't like that. Move. I was watching last night. It's insane. They've been at it for, I think they said for about 2 years, which is absolutely wild, honestly, to think about. Because like just to think about the amount of commitment that you have to the game and to remember all these individual things. I'm just gonna keep whacking until you die. It's incredible. Like, and I guess that's not a bad thing, I should say, especially when you're having a lore-heavy game like Final Fantasy. But again, if you go in with the story in mind, you're gonna have a good time. And I think that's something. I have a couple of videos that I'm planning on doing after I do my wrap-up video for A Realm Reborn, or the end of A Realm Reborn. But talk about the new player experience, what I liked, what I didn't like, you know, things along that line, just kind of like wrap it up in a little nutshell for me, you know. Segmented his videos. His videos are a little clickbaity for me. You probably shouldn't look at some of my Guild Wars 2 stuff. If you guys know, you know. I don't know. It's like you have to be clickbaity to a degree. I feel like I think is on the unfortunate eventuality, because nobody likes clickbait. But if the way I look at it is that if I can answer whatever I'm clickbaiting you for in the first like 20 seconds of the video, then that's not clickbait to me. I feel like I'm still telling you whatever it is. I'm just trying to pique your interest so that you'll watch. That's basically what it is. But like if I was saying like, here's the best, for example, here's the best build ever, you know, for Path of Exile, and then it's like my trash reckoning build, you know, then we're gonna have a problem. Then we're gonna have a problem. I'm talking about misleading, yeah. Well, and I suppose I don't know enough about league starter builds and like what's good and being able to spot what's good or not. So perhaps that's just something that will come with time as I put more in, because I've only put in 65 hours into Path of Exile. Oh, damn it. Nino, what's up, buddy? I've only put in like 65 hours, so there's still a lot of things that I have no idea what's good, what's bad, you know, where's the line. Dude, stop. Thank you. Oof, I feel that big time. It's hard to sometimes not to be like, I can't wait to experience a certain event, because it's just all so good, and never want to make you feel rushed. Well, forget who I was watching. I was talking to someone. Or watching something, and they were talking about their experience with. They were talking about their own experience with the Final Fantasy community and how it was actually, and this was over on Twitter, how like it was actually like it was actually obnoxious, because it's like, you know, there's so many players who are so excited about the game and they'll only watch you for you playing Final Fantasy. Which, I'll be honest with you, going into the night, I knew that my viewership was going to be significantly less. I damn well knew it. I would be a fool not to. But it's also along those lines of like, the idea of exposure in my mind. Is like, if I'm going to play a game, and my channel's about gaming, like I'm testing some stuff out with Dune Awakening and seeing how well that's received. And I know that if it's not Final Fantasy right now, for the most part, it's going to be significantly less, and I just have to be okay with it. But the idea is that as I play, I find some people who are like-minded like me, who just, you know, like enjoy gaming, enjoy chilling, and, you know, have a good personality. Like, you'll find your group. And I think that's where a lot of people get disheartened, because in that conversation on Twitter, they brought up the fact that it's like, you know, they've seen people get partnered on Twitch and then lose partner status because they stopped playing Final Fantasy, and they went from numbers of like 300 to 400 down to like 20. Like I don't know where I'm at right now. I don't track my viewers or how many viewers I have, especially when I'm streaming. I feel like that's just shocking. But the idea of it is that it's like, it can be a lot, and if people don't understand that, then, you know, that's just part of it, you know. You found affliction enemies in Necropolis? Ooh. I've already completely forgotten all of their afflictions. I think it's like, what's it like? I think the one I hated the most was Vivid Empowerment, because it's like they get like, it's like their crit damage is like ridiculous. Vivid. Oh, I hate Vivid. Vivid was the worst. Primal I didn't mind. It just made him super tanky, I felt like. There's an entire Discord to the best gear usage. And the best way to play it and to have a great experience. And see, and that's the thing though, is that like, is it really truly the best experience if you're not, you know, just experiencing on your own? Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who get like, oh, well, you know, like, you're not saying this character's, you know, name right. And I'm like, I'm allowed to have a different experience, I suppose, is the best way to put it. Uh-oh, Galactic's here. Oh, no. The police is here. The police are here. No, don't go over there. Wee, wee. You're not playing the game that I told you that you had to play. Get your ass back to gaming. Alright, we gotta head back to town. Who said that you could play anything but? This gotta go over here. Can I get the? I gotta sell some stuff before I do anything.
Yes?
Oh, bam, 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 bam. Wait, is that a shield? That is a shield. Bam. Oh, mental damage.
What little help I can offer.
There we go. I've always been that the hyper focus on one kind of game kind of person, but I'm seeing the value in your perspective, especially if they're not all sub games. Well, and I think that's
now that you've drained
like
that
that's my whole point, honestly. Wait, hold on. Michelle, Suspect Protector.
You managed to kill a granddaddy.
There we go. Yeah, we'll go that way. Crap. You know what? Let's just forego heavy strike for right now. Do I have an extra weapon set? I don't. I use that anyway. There we go. Put that there. Heart of a Warrior gives us a bunch of HP, 10 strength. There we go. Papa Meow is only correct pronunciation. I'll die on that hill. You know what's funny is that, like, there's a lot of people who are like, why do you like him so much? And I was like, I think I like him because that was the only thing I remember through Galactic and I's first time of playing. You know, like, that was the only thing I really remembered. That and the Rogadin or Rodigan's like facial expressions were hilarious. Forgot to look at weapons. I found you because of Final Fantasy 14. I keep watching a good conversation on love for the games that you play, and that's, I think, probably the biggest hurdle that any content creator will have. And I think they get into the mindset they try to go too fast, and you got to be in it for the long haul.
Alive,
it's like you got to understand that you'll meet your right type of people. You'll meet your right group of people, I should say, and it's still not there. And I think that's kind of where I'm like, I know that if I switch games or I'm doing something different, then, you know, for the most part, people probably aren't going to pay attention to me, and that's okay. That is okay. The idea of it is that, am I having a good time? Am I enjoying myself? Am I creating things that people actually want to sit down and watch with me? So, yeah, you guys are watching me struggle bus through this game. But we did get a new skill, by the way. Molten Shell. Boom. I found an all-flame that replaces an enemy type in that zone with a vivid power and can drop points. Damn. Hey, where are you, by the way? Ooh, superior battery. That's a... It's not really an upgrade. Also, we woohoo because I'm here late. Well, aren't you? You're part of a progression group tonight, aren't you? I think that's what your message said, anyway. Die. Smash everything. This isn't even Earthquake. This is just Ground Slam. Like, I'll get to Earthquake eventually, but we're taking our time. Ruthless is known to be slow. So, Act 5 Kitaba. Nice. I appreciate that you like him because I feel like a lot of streamers shit on Gridania in the beginning. It really... Honestly, like, when I look back at it, it's like Gridania really wasn't all that bad. I think I came into the game at, it wasn't my time, let me say, to play Final Fantasy 14 when I first tried it. Like, I tried it for a couple of streams and I was like, meh. But what I ended up thinking worked best was that Galactic and I played it kind of in the background while I was making content on Path of Exile. And by the time that I eventually got to, we'll say, like, a decent point, I finished up the main limbs of the story, like, I had more to back it. And I put out, like, 2 videos before I even decided to stream it once, so. And I think that's probably what I'll end up having to do here, because I do want to make some more content on Path of Exile just to have some fun. Honestly, like, I won't even try to claim that I'm, like, you know, as skilled as some of these guys.
They are not Karui.
But I feel like I can spin it into a fun way. That's kind of my goal. That's my focus. Baba Meow in reverse pants. I really over this weekend. Ideally, I'm gonna have it out by like either Monday or Tuesday. It may be like more realistically Tuesday. I am gonna put out the finale episode, and then I think I might do. So here's my itinerary for Final Fantasy. I do have a couple of videos that I want to work on. The big thing that I want to focus on for Final Fantasy is, of course, talking about like my experience and like what I picked up from my playtime. Like, you know, what I liked, what I didn't like. I'd like to do a tier list of the characters. Like who did I like the most, who didn't I like the most. I thought that would be kind of fun. I might stream that. I don't know. You know, like who was cool, who was a dweeb. You know, Alfie's gonna be on that list somewhere on the dweeb side. Die. Go in hell, muskets. Just to bring a side note from the raid leader. Accuracy has got to be crap.
Every death brings me life.
Ugh. So close to actually getting, because these are all of my damaging nodes to start. So like 12% increased damage, 16%, you know, 25, like all of these provide like really good increases to damage, and I'm still chucking through all this life stuff down here. Ugh. Not my alpha nerd, but I get it. Nice, that is a massive upgrade. We just got a life flask. Big old biggin. Ball fight. Just gonna stay right in it and just eat this. I'm gonna watch that shock debuff. That shock debuff is killing me right now. Running out of potions. I'm gonna have to kill some just random mobs, get some potion back. There we go. I would save that for when you're about to go into heaven. About to go into that. Yeah, that's what Galactic was telling me, is that there's still a lot of extra stuff that I have to go through. Or I wouldn't even say extra stuff, like almost kind of mandatory stuff that I have to go through before I can even progress into.
I cannot carry this.
Progress into Heaven's Word. Like I still have a long way to go. This one's gonna be better. Just because it has 3. Let's go with that. He's already telling me, he was like, you got a long way to go. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, trust me. Buckle up, Buttercup. There we go. It took me 7 hours to get through, get to
I
Catawba.
cannot do this yet.
Dude, I think I spent 7 hours on my first playthrough. I think I spent 7 hours just getting to Act 2. I was so slow. The end of post patches, you mean? No, not the Dread Wheels. Let's move that down there. This has some nice graphics. It really does, and honestly, I'm actually, it makes me excited for Path of Exile too, because they really upped the game with the graphics in it. Okay, this may have been a mistake. Oh, yes.
Living flesh and bone.
So, hold on.
The
Check it out.
animals
So,
suffer
21
first.
DPS.
Their bodies
Put
change.
that up there.
Their eyes
25.
filled
Okay, I'll
with a
take it.
hatred of
That's a
mankind
DPS
that is
increase.
beyond instinct. Now it is
Symbol
we who
iron
must
ring.
bend and bow like saplings before the seaborn gale. The firstborn of the kingdom of Calm greeted us this day. The firstborn of the kingdom of Calm was buried this day. Even
Shell.
our children are not spared the Black Spirit's touch. What have we done to enrage Rayclast? We look to Calm. Our king will lay the spirit of this land at peace.
Oh, we're about to find my favorite character. Or my favorite characters.
Lavianga speaks of Kitama, father of corruption.
Well, well. This one's got quite the unfinished. This corpse'll do. Full of anguish. Just how we need.
Bring a spring.
Keep making them,
Seneca,
and
you
I'll
are
keep
in this
scooping.
exact same boat that I am right now.
When
Exactly
we've got
the same
enough,
boat.
we can perform
So
certain
my kids
rites
decided to
of
get
the
everyone sick
Necropolis.
towards,
Visit
I'm gonna
me,
say,
and
like the
there'll be
beginning
something
of
in it for
this past
you.
week. And like,
No
I wasn't even
questions
sure I was going to be able to stream on Monday because of it. I wasn't even sure that I was going to be able to stream on Monday because of it. And now everyone's like coughing. My wife is coughing now. It's a big deal. Like, I have a little bit of a sore throat, and I'm like, I'm not ready for this. But yep, they are on spring break for the next week. Started what's it? Started technically today. We had our little adventure. Pop, pop, pop. I didn't say it like that. Well, you kind of said a lot of things, Galactic. Honestly, let's be honest. My gloves are better. You said a lot of things. You were like, oh, look, these are my favorite characters. These guys are literally just wheels. The skeletons tied to wheels. Like, I freaking love these guys. These are like my favorite characters. The entire is about 400. Final Fantasy 14 is about 304 hours, depending on the case. For you, it's like 700. I take my time. And I think I take my time and I go slower just because I know that if I rush it, I'm not going to be happy. Like, if I spent all of my time just playing with it, playing the game, then I, one, wouldn't be able to put out as many videos, and then two, like, I would just feel like I'm like missing so much out of the game because all I've done is rush. Okay. Let's drop that. They've been incrementally doing graphics increase. Ooh, boss, I think. doing graphics increase PoE for every league for years now. Nice. Old video. I think that would actually be pretty interesting to see the difference of what it was back in 2013 when it came out versus now. I think it would be good. Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I got a Legion in Act 1. Like I'm only, what level am I? I think I'm only like level 5 or 7. No, I'm level 10, I guess. Okay. Really wish my passive tree. I need one more level to get born to fight, and I start picking up damage. All right, let's do it. I'm just gonna kill these smaller guys. Oh, it's worth a portal scroll. Okay, so I guess I didn't play that right. I just went for the one that was the ones that were closer, and I tried to kill off as many as I could. I decided a fresh tune leading up to DT, and I'm enjoying taking my time. That's what Galactic was talking about. He wants to please don't let me speak for you if I'm speaking incorrectly. He really wants to level up a Viper, essentially through what story missions that he can, and he's like super stoked for it. Where was the longsword? Armor, that's actually not all that good. I recommend the a classic clip like Crypt dying to detonate dead. You can make PoE look incredibly good in NVIDIA graphics, all that stuff. Hold on, I'll have to take a look at this because I do have an NVIDIA graphic card. That Alt F. Did you mean Alt F4? Were you just trying to troll me there, Nu? I think you were. I suddenly am very distrustful. You just try to make me bail out of the game. Die. Good old-fashioned tank and spank right here. All that for that. Fantastic. My 16-year-old brought home the flu, and every day I get closer to dropping. Be a real shame if my job was selling people something over the phone. The respiratory virus would make it real tough. I'm guessing that was very laden with sarcasm. You know what's funny is I sit there and I look at it. I look at it in this sense. I think there's a waypoint right on the other side of this. It's funny is because I kind of look at it in this sense that every time that we have something big going on, whether it's family or friends or something like that, that's when everyone decides to be sick. I've always noticed that.
The tale of Brutus.
Oh, that's golden. I'll destroy that.
Hello.
Get that. 'Cause that gives, yeah, that gives a decent energy shield, but then 20% increased armor. Nice. All right. Put that there. One, two, three, four. I have an orb of augmentation. That doesn't really do much good. And I feel that good that somewhere in the expanse of this game, someone right now is leveling Barbarossa. I think what I've enjoyed the most, especially from the
God
community
hasn't abandoned
and
us.
seeing everyone get all super excited
fine
about like all the different ways that they can play their character. I think what I've enjoyed the most from the community is the immediate relationship between a lalafell and a potato. Like, that was something that caught me off guard. I never thought they would be called potatoes, but damn, they went straight for it. They went straight for calling them potatoes. I don't even have an orb of alteration. I have an orb of augmentation. Cannot use any of that. We have an armor strap.
Stay
Still not
sharp.
working.
Greetings.
Boom. There we go. All right, back to the grind because we really don't have too much to go off of. But I do have another red? I do have another red now. Ah. Do that there, that there. Let's make. Perfect. Wait, now hold on. I'm gonna head all over this way. No need potatoes. But you do need to have the NVIDIA app and the driver usually installs it. That might be where I'm getting it wrong. I really thought that you were trying to cause me to alt F4 out of the game. I honestly, I had that fear for a second. I was like, you almost got me too, because I was pressing the button. I was like, why isn't this working? It's like the game froze. Billy ads, Billy ads. Missed.
I cannot do this yet.
Didn't want to be pinned over here. Oh, that was the luckiest level. Get out of my way. Gotta kill the necromancer. I don't have enough. Damn. Actually, here, you know what? We can get some damage. There we go. Ooh, we got a chaos orb. Nice. Galactic, I still can't decide if I want to do Picto from Amoskew. No need potatoes. Do it off stream if you feel safer, but I highly recommend it. All that work for that. All that work, not really good, man. Who is zapping me with all this damn lightning? kicked over here. Dark Blood. Got a Chaos Orb. Nice. Am I missing all of those? Good God. Talk about getting like the real content right here, man. I'm getting my ass kicked by these guys. There we go. Got Chaos Orb, nice. What I really enjoy is that DT is like an event. Oh, it's not an expansion. They want me to swipe the card. And I feel like a lot of MMOs end up doing that in the very best ways, honestly. I feel like a lot of MMOs do this in that the best, in the least, we'll say, fun way. It's like, oh, it's new content, and that you have to go and work for, and you know, like, it doesn't feel like it's just like an event of all these players getting together. It's more so just like, okay, you know, I just paid, you know, $50 to go play a new game or an expansion to a game, and you know, it feels more work related than anything. And that's what I'm curious to see how the community fares with Final Fantasy, like in their new expansion. I'd be curious to see, and it kind of be like on the cusp of it. I won't be able to be I won't be lore caught up, or story caught up, I should say, with the story by the time Dawn Trail comes out, but I'd be interested to see. I'd be interested to see how the community is reacting to Dawn Trail. Nice. That's a sign of past internet trouble. Zach, it's less it's less one no, I have to swipe my credit card and more shut up and take my money.
In the court
How
of
often
the
do you find
goddess,
video
every
games that are
man
like
and
that?
woman is deemed worthy of redemption. Though you might be shackled by the tribulations of the past, the trials
Nice
ahead
more warm
offer
bodies
you
and
both
roulette.
freedom and glory.
You know, if you said that
The
anywhere
future
else,
is
people would be like,
yours if
what are you
you're
talking
bold enough
about?
to reach out for it.
Ow. I'm gonna wait this time. I need Frostblink or something. Of course, these guys are evasive. Damn, these guys actually hit really hard. God. Not often anymore. Yeah. Like, I feel like there's less video games that actually have that real excitement. That's actually why I was interested to see all the excitement around the PoE League. Like, there's a lot of people who are like, this is going to be, you know, my jam. This is what I'm going to be focused on for the next, you know, couple of months. Like, there's a lot of people who are taking it very seriously. Whoa. I just killed him on the traps. Oh, I haven't tried it. Did I get some mana? was so out of the way for that one. I'm dead. Now I'm definitely dead. Gotta try that again.
I cannot do this yet.
Ow. Called that right out the gate. I think this is the first time I've actually died to the Ascendancy. I have to do it again, too. Really got to pay attention here. Hold on. Ow. Why do they have to be evasive? Big brain gaming right here. Holy hell, these guys are pushing my face in.
My mana is gone.
Ugh. Well, it's a good thing that wasn't a pain. Yay, Trial of Ascendancy. We did the first one. You'd have to run off stream and rush to make in time for DT, and nobody wants that. Yeah, I feel like that would just be ended up doing a massive disservice, not only to myself, but like to you guys, especially if you're watching this journey as I go all the way through. And I think that's what I really am excited about is like, and I plan on streaming Final Fantasy on Mondays, and doing Path of Exile on Fridays, just so I have that balance. So one, I'm still progressing towards Final Fantasy stuff, but I'm also taking it a little bit slower rather than having it as my main focus. I hate all of these mobs. These mobs are absolute. I had to get it in my head, and I had to talk with my wife about this. I feel like a lot of the times, like even like today's video, even though it is out of my last 10, it's one of my best 5, or 5 out of my last 10, ranked number 5 out of my last 10. I had to talk to her about it because I felt like I'm overthinking a lot of my content, like. And I don't know necessarily if that's always a bad thing to do, but I feel like when I sit down and I'm like editing a video, it's like I have to make sure that, you know, at this moment it doesn't get boring, or that people really care about this at this moment. It's really important I do this, that, and the other. And it's like, I think people would just be happy to watch, you know, like my tale and my story. I shouldn't really overthink it the way that I have been, you know? And I feel like that's something that you pick up as you go, like, yeah, at least in this realm, we'll say. Caster cold skeletons. Misty cell crawlers. Yeah, those guys just move fast anyway. There we go. As I'm gonna miss, I'm likely to not miss stuff then. Yeah, and I think I kind of ended up doing it that way. Also, I think it'll be hilarious, especially if like someone watches on like Monday and they go to Friday. Like it's like, oh man, Path of Exile, oh that's cool. Or then Final Fantasy, oh that's cool. It's like, wow, there is a difference in there. Remember though, and I stress this even for newer content creators, like and alike. Like I've been doing this for about 3 years now, playing video games and making videos and stuff. Like you'll find that you have ups and downs across the board, and the idea is that you're always working towards something. Pop. listen to those videos while I'm at work. You know what's funny is I actually have a handful of people who watch like the VODs, especially you know, like after the stream's over and all that.
My mana is gone.
And they sit there and they laugh too, because they're like, "Yep, we're the VOD gang. Like we only watch it after." This dude. There's plenty of ways to get killed. You're not missing as much as you think. Bleed. What's that like? Oh, this guy's gonna be tough to bring down. Especially that frailty, man. Woo. Okay, they don't come back to me. It's a delicate dance, what I've found thus far. Gotta watch that bleeding buff. So, thank you for grabbing a cup. Good man. I have to come back to him. Oh man, I starved myself.
I cannot carry this.
You know what? It's actually probably better for me to just go back to town. Go back to town and recharge. Also, if you ever have some stuff you want to do off screen, I should be able to help you out. There are some things that I want to get knocked out off of stream. Like I know that you told me that I can probably get some better gear, which I think is something I'm gonna have to pay attention to. I'm gonna swap those two for now. So that is something that I do think that I want to go ahead and get into off stream, just because I'm very close. Just because I know that. Nope, didn't do it. Didn't do it.
Take care.
That
Welcome.
once I actually get some better gear, I think I'll be able to stand a little bit stronger in towards endgame and stuff. Yeah, I'll possibly have to watch the streams on Monday at work, but I work from home. No one has to know. I feel like I end up turning on a lot of at home streams or stuff like that. I'll just turn it on in the background just as noise, like just to see what everyone else is doing, you know.
There.
Yes?
Ugh.
God hasn't abandoned us.
Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Gotta do the first 24-man live. Yeah. Galactic isn't gonna let me do that off stream. Go back and kill that one guy. Dude, just die. We're doing stuff on the stream, need some extra help. Yeah, Tim, I think you and I are, I think you already friend requested me, so I'll go ahead and, if we need to get a group, I'll make sure to grab you guys. Again, Galactic wouldn't let me live it down if I was doing something off stream that would have been better suited on. Appreciated this dude would die. Oh my goodness. That took forever and a day. Oh, so you never really responded to Coil's explanation on what you want to do with those. I thought we were under the assumption that I was gonna go ahead and do the coils. Felt like I had to at this rate, right? Now things are starting to cook, but that is definitely going to be a big DPS increase. Ooh boy. And unfortunately that is actually going to hinder me. But we can make that work. Yeah, that's a big DPS increase. Full party sync, coils is mandatory. How is what you get to decide? Wait, what does that mean? You wrote your paragraph. I know, I'm gonna have to look at it. You do a lot of really good service for me, and I swear he really does. Like, he puts through a lot of effort. The second that I finished Base of Realm Reborn, he had like 3.5 paragraphs worth of information for me to take a look at. And like, it was well thought out, and it was like, here's what I'm planning, here's what I'm thinking, what do you think? Like, you know, it was really, really well done. And I was like, I don't want to be rude, but it's like 1 a.m. Like, I'm pretty tired now. I enjoy doing it. Well, I mean, to be fair though, you've worked hard to get me to this particular point. Bleeding debuff is killer, actually. I wrote when you eventually beat base Heaven's Word. You see what I mean, guys? Like, Galactic has been on point with a lot of this stuff. I think there's a boss fight coming up.
Your brawn is about to meet its match, Brute.
Oh,
Give
wait,
the
no, Piety.
warden my regards.
And she just runs away. We gotta go fight the warden. Shavron's Journal.
Still the Karui barbarians advance upon us.
So if you guys thought it was bad that I was butchering Final Fantasy 14 characters' names, I also called Chevron. And that was her name for me.
Should the need arise, we shall retreat through prison's
To be granted a knighthood.
raising my barricade
And again,
behind us.
Galactic has been very
Yet our
patient
salvation
and
is at
understanding.
hand. Foul times demand heroic deeds, and through my arts, our Lord Brutus will arise anew to defend us. May the dry sands quench.
My loyal Declan, give Our Lady Piety your absolute support and watch
Oh, there he is.
absolute scrutiny. There is much to learn from the likes of the Inquisitor, the Umbra, and the Soulless One. I would hate for Piety to feel that she need shoulder such perilous wisdom alone. Dominus.
I forgot how hard he hits in a very tight area. Dodged all those abilities very skillfully. I think when I eventually end up getting to like Heaven's Word and all that, like there's a couple of things that I really think would be interesting to to talk about, especially like the growth of characters, because pretty sure Alfie's all the way through. I've seen him all the way through, at least in I've seen the Dawn trailer before I even decided to pick up Final Fantasy. So like I get it. Oh, plated
Your
gauntlet. It's
spirit
nice.
is the plaything of the ancestors, slave
Like I
master.
already know that he's there, but it'd be interesting to see his growth, especially as the story unfolds. Which one would I give up though? What is that? That's Molten Shell. I don't want to give up Molten Shell. Give up Heavy Strike, which is single target. Has a huge increase. It's a blue. That stinks. I get it. That's a decent stat increase too. 10 strength gives a bunch of armor and all that jazz. Interesting. The plot, much like my blood vessels, thicken. Better off just doing that. There we go. Are you gonna collect minions and mounts while playing through the game? While playing through the game, I think I might end up doing that as kind of like an auxiliary thing. Just kind of like off it into the background, just to kind of like dig in on my own. I do have intentions with a lot of different things that I'll be like, you know, I think this would be good. I think this would be fun. And of course, Galactic has been doing everything he can to steer me in the right direction. Like here, and it's funny too. In those messages, he goes, "Here's what I think you should do, and here's what you have to do, and here's completely optional." So like the last stream where it was nothing but dungeons, it's because there's tons of like optional dungeons, and he was like, you know, like you can do them, but
from the solution, you have but a few seconds to install the gem in the prepared flash.
get this man his ponies. I'm actually I really do want to check out some of the auxiliary stuff that the game has to offer, because I mean there's a bunch of stuff that I missed. Like I think it'd be cool to unlock my Dragoon specifically. I think that would be a lot of fun. One of my favorite things about Final Fantasy 14, the mounts play boss music where they come from. That's something that I picked up very, very quickly, and I thought was very cool. Was that all the mounts have their own individual? I'm not Each one of the mounts has their own like individual theme song and stuff like that that go along with it. I thought that that was pretty cool. That was something unique to me. You know what? We can move you here. Move you here. Over there. There. You just gotta min-max just a little bit. Fire, I don't like this. Helmet. Yeah, I'm definitely digging that. That's so much better. All right, now we're back to the game with heavy strength. Boom, perfect. Guild Wars 3, Cat. Oh, I know. I did see that. I've seen it. It's still very, very far out in development, but it's interesting to see all the excitement around it. All the people who are like, "Oh my goodness, it's finally happening!" Honestly, I not to be that guy, but I'm kind of like, it took them long enough, in my opinion. Not all the mounts have music, have a unique music, but all have a generic music. I can't remember which one, because Galactic, way back when, took me on a magic carpet ride. Now, that's all I'll call it, is because he took me off to like some random ass places. He left me in some of those places, by the way. And he even said he was at like, there was one that had like really, really cool music, and I can't remember exactly what it was. And I want to say it was the no, I can't remember it. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one that had a lot of really cool music to it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. I had a good time with it. Except for the part where Galactic left me out in the middle of it, because that did happen. And he thinks I'll forget. And he was like, "Oh, that happened like 3 years ago." People don't forget.
Strength isn't everything.
Wait, Guild Wars 3 was actually confirmed. It was confirmed that they were going to start development. They have nothing else to show for it aside from the fact that their shareholder said we're going to focus on creating Guild Wars 3. That is all we have. And I honestly, I thought about making like a hype video about it. Like, oh, that'd be so cool. You know, like, oh, here we go. But it's like, it's so far out, and it's just based off of one little article that they gave us that I'm like, back dog. I don't know if it would have been worth me actually spending all that time to create a video and, you know, like, and then talk about it in that sense. I guess that was my only downfall. I did retweet it, and I did talk about it on Twitter specifically, but I'd be interested to see what they can do. Guild Wars 3. It would be very cool if they could find the right way to do this. No, I don't want to deal with the Jonas. Come here. But therein lies kind of the problem, though, is that like, and I talked about this too, and actually, probably, I think it was one of my shorts, was that the problem that you run into is that if you start talking about Guild Wars 3, it essentially shoots Guild Wars 2 in the foot. Because then people are like, well, why am I going to keep playing Guild Wars 3 if I had, you know, Guild Wars, you know, or why am I going to keep playing Guild Wars 2 if Guild Wars 3 is coming out tomorrow? And it's like, it's not. It's coming out in 5 years, and I'm sure there's still going to be more Guild Wars 2 content, but people don't see it that way, unfortunately. Nino hitting that 18-month mark. You're actually creeping up on 2 years. 2 years consecutively for joining the Caffeinated cult. I think the bean goes red, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what I made the 2-year mark. One of the longest running supporters of the channel, along there with Galactic. You guys have been here. You guys have been here for a while. Please consider becoming a member in this awesome family. Thank you. Nino, funny enough, actually, I don't know how many people are here, but I think most of the people that I've seen they're already a part of the Caffeinated cult. But I appreciate the endorsement. I think I'm probably gonna get to the next area and then get rid of all because it's already 11:15. Good gracious, where did the night go? Like how these guys are playing Hellions, they just look like regular dogs, but they just explode. It's a single player RPG. There's some people who have said that they would actually prefer that. And I could see actually both ways. Like if they went with a single player RPG, I could see a lot of players being really interested in that. Now again though, like how would they implement it? What's their plan? There's still a lot of questions when it comes to that in my mind. Because my main problem is like with how long Guild Wars 2 has already been out. Like if you do that, then all the people who have spent so much time in there would very well could be like, you're chill. You know, I spent all this time and effort into the game. What happens to all my stuff? Like, right? Like I have a whole slew of legendaries. I have all these unlocks, and then it's like, what am I gonna do next? Like what happens to all this effort that I put into it? At least that's where a lot of people from the community I've seen have made mention. They don't like where that is set up. Circlet. All right, next area. I should go and try for both. You know what's funny is that I really feel like if they really spent the time and the effort for like handling it, actually taking some we'll say some pages from the OCP. Like I think that they would have a better turnout for transitioning from Guild Wars 2 to Guild Wars 3. Now again though, I'll be honest with you, I haven't played too much of Guild Wars 2 recently. I've been playing all these other games. If you guys haven't noticed. But I think that's something to always consider in that. I went bird. Come on, focus. There we go. Boom. All right. I feel like a lot of companies could learn something from Yoshi P, honestly. And again, I think that's one of the things that I've truly respected out of my playthrough in Final Fantasy XIV. like, it is especially considering the fact that what's it, Square Enix has been around for a very long time. Final Fantasy has been around for a very long time, and you see how like faithful the community is within itself. Like, they must be doing something right. I mean, like, there's no other way to put it. Oh, big, slow, beefy swings. There we go. Butchery. Now we're swinging hard. I was already swinging pretty hard.
Our king has taken our finest 500 warriors and descended into the depths of Rayclast. He spoke
If not,
to
you
us
should
of a
have looked
vision,
at
a gift from the
how we got from the
ancestors.
disaster that was
Calm has been
1.0.
deceived.
There's so many
vision
people who
was a
like
gift from
gave
the Black
1.0
Spirit.
so much crap,
It
but I'm
has
like,
conquered Calm.
again
The
though,
Black
they
Spirit has
took the time to
conquered
fix it.
the Tardui way.
Like that's really what it boils down to, is that they
Has
took the
made
time
ready for
to
canoes.
fix it,
We
to
will
make it
take
into what
those
it
that
is
are
now.
left,
And
500
let's be serious, I just played through it, had a
and
great
carry
time.
them back to their true homes. Back to Ngamakanui.
I cannot carry this.
Khan's promises
Can't carry
have led
anymore
us into
anyway.
nightmare. Hyri will lead us back to the dawn.
Perfect. There we go. Alright, I think we are good from there. Oh, man. Alright, so we made some good progress tonight. I think I wanted to do this to mainly get some perspective,
some
honestly,
demo veiled
with how this game, how more difficult this game can be. And thus far, I wouldn't say like skill-wise it's super difficult. I would definitely say tedious-wise, it does increase that drastically. Like, because I'm only like level 14, where I think last time, you know, you're cruising through and you're already like level 25 at this point. You're grinding your PoE league starter. Starting that league in, what's it, Ruthless, man. Like, it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Honestly, I didn't think it was. Sorry, I'm looking at these gems. Enduring cry. There we go. Anything good? Nope, mine's still better. Drastically. There we go. Now don't worry about it, Dyron. I was doing the same thing. I was grinding and I was getting my stuff rolling on there. 1.0 was just for the story mode, was basically a bad reskin of Exile. You played through 2.0. 1.0 was very different. They knew Yoshi P had the audacity to tell the game was so broken it needed to be burned down and remade again. But again, it was burnt down to be remade again, and now look at where it's at. It's in a very good spot. Like, the game is very, in my experience, I'm having a great time. Like, I can only imagine everyone else, like, you know, who was there from the start to be playing now. Like, heck, like, they probably have really changed the whole game just because it didn't work. And for a developer to have that idea, to be able to look what they have and realize, I gotta change this. Like, I gotta tear it down. I can't just keep clinging on and holding on. I gotta do something different. That's always the jump that a lot of people don't like to make. And for a developer to do it, bravo. Bravo. Well, guys, that is going to be the end of the stream for tonight. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out, just chilling. Again, this is something that I really wanted to get into as far as the new season of Path of Exile. I also wanted to talk about it from a perspective of trying it on, like, basically super hard, difficult, or, well, I shouldn't say, brutally difficult mode, where I'm getting, like, no loot and everything's moving very slow and everything's kind of, like, you know, tedious back and forth. But I actually kind of enjoy it because it's a lot slower. It makes everything feel more meaningful, which is great. I enjoyed it. I'm having a good time, but Monday stream is probably going to be some more Final Fantasy. I'm going to figure out something else I can get into. Maybe get into some the main story quest. I think that might be where I end up going. Get some MSQ knocked out. Galactic, I might hit you up here sometime next week for us to get some other stuff rolling. So I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. Nino, Tim, Nicola, Dyron, I got all of you guys. Zach, I know that you're out there lurking. Segmented. I appreciate it, guys. Aside from that, you have a wonderful Easter weekend, and stay caffeinated, folks.